Hello, my name is Hugh and welcome to my channel and once again my garden. The thumbnail showed a huge pile of pine that used to be a chest of drawers that also belonged to my son and his fiancée, and they didn't want it anymore, so Dad, can you use it? I said yeah. And I thought the top would be pine, which it is, but I also thought the rest of it would be chipboard or MDF, but it's not, it's actually pine. So that will be used in future projects. So let's have a look at the other side. As you can see, there are some holes there for the fixings. But what I'm hoping to get is 4 breadboards out of this, 12 inches in diameter. And for that, I'm going to be using that, which is my bowl sizer. And I've worked out I can get 2 from this end and 2 from that end, and then I'll be putting a glue block on it facing off the other side, and then putting it back in my coal jaws to finish off this side, because this actually does have a slight bow in it. So let me get set up to show the marking out. See you in a sec. There you go, that's 4 boards marked up. So what I'm going to do now is mark the centres from using the bowl sizer, take this onto my bandsaw and cut those out. So with something this size I'm not going to have room to have a camera anywhere near it, so I'll bring you back when they're all cut out. See you soon. Okay, there we have 4 prospective breadboards cut to rough shape, and the glue block I'll be using. So I'm just going to measure that, draw a circle with a compass in the middle, glue it on and get it on the lathe. So next time you'll see one of these will be on the lathe. See you in a bit. Hello. So it's all mounted on the glue block, and then in my SK114 Evolution chuck. So I'll be facing this side off, putting a cove around there as like a crumb catcher. No finish, because it will be finished in a food safe oil. Then I'll flip it over and sand the back and put some oil on that as well. So whilst the glue on the glue block was drying off, I went in to make myself a cup of tea, as I do, and the postman has been, and a lovely little parcel from a friend in South England, Mick Hoff. And Mick's been doing some pyrography. I said I'd love to know what you think, and love to see what you do. And he's bought a new set, a new couple of pens, which is funny enough the same as I've used. And he said, this is the first things I've made with them. So he sent them to me as a present. 4 beautiful coasters, each one with a dragon on it. As you know, I'm Welsh, and that is the dragon from the Welsh flag. So Mick, thank you very, very much. It's very, very kind of you. Yes, I'm sure Jane's going to love them as well. So Mick doesn't have a YouTube channel, otherwise I would put links to his channel here. But diolch yn fawr, Mick, thank you very, very much. So all I've got to do now is, I've never used a glue block on anything this big before, because it is sort of 12 inches in diameter. So I'm just going to bring up tailstock with some support. This is a revolving centre with a cup centre there, so I can just nip it up and give it some support. Now when I cut this out, I tried to make sure I had as much of a glue line across there as possible, because obviously I didn't glue this together, so I don't know if those glue joints are going to hold. So it's definitely, as ever, face shield on, and lathe speed will be around 700, and a little 3/8" Robert Sorby bowl gouge. So let's see if we can get this done. Tool height the right height. Yep, that's got it. Beautiful fine shavings coming off. It's very, very dusty, so I didn't think it would be that dusty, but my face mask, my dust mask is going on. And I've switched to a 1/2" Robert Sorby bowl gouge. Okay, happy with that. I'm not going to round the edges off, it's quite thin, it's only 1/2 inch or so, 5/8. So I'm just going to give this a quick sand in first, and then put the cove in there. So let me get set up for that. I'll just show you a little bit of a sanding, because we all know how much we all love sanding, so I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'm going to start with some 120, then some 180, and then some 240, and that will do. And then I'll put the bead there and just sand that up a bit. Speed's going to be 400. One thing, I need to have a look at my dust extractor. I think I might need to empty it. So yeah, that's up to 240, lovely and smooth. But what I want to do now is just some methylated spirits or denatured alcohol. 2 reasons. Excuse me. 1, to clear the grain, and 2, to raise the grain as well before I give it a final excuse me, a final sanding. And look at that. I love the way mess makes everything pop. Definitely need to have a look at that extractor. That'll be done tomorrow. Okay, let that dry off, and then another sanding, and then I'll put the cove in there. Okay, for the cove, I'm just going to use a little 12mm round carbide cutter. Turn the speed back up to 900. There you go, it doesn't have to be deep, so I'm not going to bore you with the sanding. I'm just going to sand it by hand and then flip it over and get it on the coal jaws. See you when that's ready. And a little trick I've seen a few people use to get this off easily is methylated space or denatured alcohol, and just drop it along the seam, wait a few minutes, and that softens the hot glue. So I'll bring you back when it's time to take that off. Well, that was particularly stubborn. I ended up having to use the thin parting tool, medium parting tool, to take it off. So I'm just going to skim this flat again now, and then sand it. I'll just show you a bit of this. .672. Okay, I've got some significantly more tear out on this section than I had on this side rather than I had on the other one. So I'm starting with 80 grit and working my way up to 240. Oh, here we have it. 11 3/4, 11 7/8 pine breadboard. Now this one is going to Sandra, the lady I refurbished her breadboard from, if you remember, and put the elephants on it. And she liked that so much she wanted me to make one for a good friend of hers for her birthday, but she doesn't want any pyrography on it. So all I'm going to put on this now is Howard's cutting board oil, which is colourless, odourless, tasteless, food grade mineral oil. So then whoever gets this as a present can just carry on with a food grade mineral oil to keep it up, the upkeep of it. So next day is be back indoors on my table, and let's get some oil on this and see what it looks like. So there we have it. That's just the first coat. I'm going to put 3 or 4 of these on, as it suggests, and then leave 20 minutes in between each one. So I'm happy. I think Sandra will like it, and I hope a friend does as well. As you saw, I've got another 3 to do, and I said I was going to put some pyrography on those, but I don't think I'm going to. Having seen the grain in this now, I'm just going to do the other 3 the same as this one. So I'll do all those off camera. I'll put some pictures up at the end of all 4. So thank you very much for watching. If it's your first time here and you've liked what you've seen, you can click on my icon at the bottom and click all on the notification bell, and YouTube lets you know when I upload my next video, which is normally a Thursday morning. So I forgot to move the camera. If you've liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, please leave a comment. I read them all. I reply to them all. All you oldies, diehards, I still haven't thought of another adjective yet. As ever, Joch yn fawr iawn. Thank you very, very much. As to all of my subscribers, I know I say it quite often, but I really do mean it. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate your support. So, as I said, I'll put some pictures up at the end of the other 3 when I'm done. So all I've got to say now is please stay safe, take care. I'll see you next week, and hoil!